the number of flowers that are on this one tree are not even going to be enough. If all the flowers that are budding on this thing became a coffee bean, I don't. It wouldn't be enough to even brew one cup of coffee. But it's kind of fun and amazing. I didn't think it should take 5 years for it to grow a coffee beans, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm kind of proud of it. We'll see what we get. Maybe I'll take some pictures of the coffee plant. I tried. It doesn't. It's not a prime specimen. Trust me. I've tried. Properly fertilizing, and the leaves tend to get brown and want to fall off every once in a while. And it's not due to lack of water, because I try to keep it watered like you're supposed to. And I tried, more sun, less sun, shaded, all that kind of stuff. And I can't see, and I've tried, the proper fertilizer. It's kind of like a neighbor gave me an orchid. Now, I have never bought an orchid because I don't know the first thing about those things and how to take care of them. Now, it came to me with a lot of orchid blooms on it. And, I did a quick research on orchids and how to, you're supposed to use like ice cubes when you're watering because you don't want to overwater. You don't want to put it in direct sunlight. So I did all of that. And about 2 weeks after getting the thing, all except for one of the flowers died. And I usually have a pretty green thumb. So, but the specialty plants like this coffee tree plant and an orchid, if they're delicate plants, I guess I'm not gonna. I guess my green thumb is not as green as I like to think it is. So I'm not gonna try to grow delicate plants like that. I guess I gotta grow plants that can take a little bit of neglect. If you forget to water it, 1 week it's still gonna be there. It's still going to survive. So, things like aloe plants and stuff. And some of those plants are kind of healthy. Like an aloe plant. You can actually use the aloe leaf in the aloe plant. And speaking of healthy, one of the things that seems to be grabbing people's attention of late is the story of Jared Fogle. The Subway spokesman. And I got, a few days ago, the FBI raided Fogle's home, and we were told it was mostly due to the fact that someone that ran his, his charitable organization, or was a part of his charitable organization, was, caught with child pornography. And of course, probably they, if that's the case, then the FBI wanted to see what Jared knew, if he knew anything, and if the person that they're accusing of child pornography sent anything to Jared, even if Jared didn't know about it. People they do that. They can send you stuff sometimes when you don't know about it. And it might be in a file that you don't even open. And you try to delete it, but it's because your computer doesn't really, unless you take steps to really permanently delete something. If you just hit the delete once, it's not really deleted. It can be retrieved by just about anybody. So they probably took a lot of his computers and stuff like that to see if that were the case, and to help build a case not against necessarily Jared. But the former employee of his charitable organization. I don't know why people, once they get some money, they decide to form their own charitable group instead of just giving money to worthy causes that are already out there. It's a little bit, because everybody's got an ego, I guess. Look, If I ever become a multi-millionaire, I'm not going to start my own charity. I'm going to look for charities that are already doing what I think is good work, that are doing a good job of doing those good works. And, the money, I wouldn't be giving them to the Clintons. So I would just donate money to that, because they've already got the infrastructure. They've already got, everything that is up and running and needed. They've already got, they're doing a good job. Why add to that when you don't have the ability to do what somebody who's already doing it has. That's just me. I know some people, they have this self-indulgence and self-importance that they got to have their own, how they want to do it. That's them. Look, I'm glad that they do it. I just don't know why that they feel that they have to when there are so many good organizations in the areas that these people want to do good work in the first place. And it's rare now that there isn't a good charity that's working in a field or a subject matter that you may want to work in. It's rare. I know it still happens. It still comes up, but it's rare. So if there isn't anybody who's already working in the field of your interest, then fine, go ahead and do it. But if there are already other organizations that are working in the field that you're interested in, I say, why not just, your money would go further if you were to donate it to these worthy organizations. But getting back to Jared, here's a story from Daily Mail on the web. And talking about, I guess this is from a Florida woman who's a very good friend of Jared, is telling the news, Daily Mail, that Jared Fogle said that middle school girls are hot. In fact, she claims that he told her multiple times that he was interested in underage girls. Now, two things of that. First of all, I know this is going to sound a little bit wrong and strange, but considering what usually happens with this kind of stuff, I'm glad he's interested in girls and not boys. Just putting that out there. If it's true, if he was really serious about what he said, it's sick, twisted, and disgusting. However, he is a guy, and it's about time that it wasn't underage boys that were being the target of these people. Government stats tell us that boys are 3 to 5 times more likely to be victims of sexual predators than girls. And that comes basically from both men and women preying on young males. I don't know why that is. I really don't. I wish I did. Because then, I don't know if anybody really knows the non-spiritual answer to that. Because if we did, we'd be able to do a lot more to prevent this stuff. But I mean, every time you turn around, it looks like there is some man preying on boys, or there is some woman, especially a teacher, and she's a high school or a middle school teacher, preying on her male students. They're 14 to 16 years old. I mean, it's insanity. I don't want parents to feel that they can't, let their sons out of their sight. But, it's just this whole, it's whole notion, that for whatever reason, I guess the male form attracts predators more than the female form. I don't know why that is. I wish I did, but I don't know. This is I'm not making. I wish I was making this stuff up, because then it wouldn't be true. But there's government stats out there. There's private stats. There's all kinds of studies and stuff like that already prove this is where I'm getting my information. It's what I'm telling you is already out there, and that's a really sad commentary on society. And look, I'm not. I know some people are going to say, "Well, Rod is gay bashing, secretly gay." No, I'm not. Although, what I don't understand. Well, I guess there's two different types. I alluded to this last night, on yesterday's program. How women like manly men, and straight guys. I mean, they don't have a bro crush is not a sexual crush. They're not attracted to another man, but we call it a bro crush. And men who have bro crushes also are like women that tend to have bro crushes on manly men. They're not effeminate men. And a lot of gay men like manly men. But then they don't. I mean, if you talk to the gay community, I mean, they have big issues within their own community about self-discrimination and self-hatred, as it's called, because the gay community is kind of up in arms a little bit about the fact that gay men don't tend to like very effeminate gay men. They want gay men that act like men. They don't want gay men that act like girls, females. So there's this anti-effeminate thing until, of course, you get to the younger set. Then you get people, people that look like they might be 12, even though they're 18 or 20 years old. Kind of like Justin Bieber, they may look like they're 12, and then for some reason they like that. Now, I don't know what the difference is between liking a boy and liking a female. An effeminate male, but there seems to be some sort of disconnect because once, they get to be above the age of 20 or whatever it is, I don't know, they tend to want to have a more manly man. And again, somebody sent me an email and they sent me a link and saying that how right I was and that there was some study to back, and I didn't follow the link to the study, but they were telling me that there was some study that was done out there that backs me what I was saying up about, Hollywood stars and all the male stars and how they're manly men. And even the ones that we know who are openly gay, they are not effeminate. They tend to be more. I mean, look at Doogie Howser, Neil Patrick Harris. Does he act effeminate? No, he's able to play straight characters like Barney Stetson on How I Met Your Mother. I mean that's. I mean he was kind of a rogue, I guess, but that's a manly man type of thing, trying to land bed as many babes as possible. So again, and even when you're talking to, I guess there were times when they were doing interviews with Neil Patrick Harris that he didn't seem to be very forthcoming about his gay relationship. About is his husband? No, I don't know. But yeah, and he wants to be portrayed as being a guy. Even though his sexual preference is for other men, but he wants to be a guy. And look, this is part of his acceptance of being out, being in the mainstream. And you have a lot of guys. There are a lot of guys out there that are surprisingly gay. What was the Prison Break? What's his name? Wentworth Miller. Didn't he come out as being gay? I mean, Ricky Martin. I don't know how many more people I have to name to show and prove about the manly men thing. But this is what, and it's not just limited to American culture, but this is pretty much worldwide. But, and Jared seemed, it's kind of hard to peg Jared, because I'm going to be frank. I thought he, a lot of fat guys tend to be a little effeminate, and Jared did seem to be, but he's obviously he's married to a woman, and I guess they have kids, and evidently, according to this friend, he likes girls from middle school, which would put them in about the 13, 14-year-old range. Yeah, kind of sick if that's true, kind of sad if that's true. But you know what? This is America. The man is innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt in a court of law. So everybody jumping on the bandwagon to dump on Jared, I mean, that's also wrong. Let's get the information first. If it's got to go to court, let it go to court. But reserve judgment until we know more facts.